This is my channel. Today on Funchal in Rua, seeing the cars that are the classes that are going to compete this year for the race around the island of Madeira. It's because of the first races that happened here that encouraged the islanders to create more roads on the island, thus connecting the small villages that were isolated without any access to each other except by sea. This is going to be the 32nd competition that is going to happen, and they are listing themselves to race tomorrow and the day after. As I said, these cars here were making the registration to compete during the next few days. But not all of them will be competing. Some of them will be doing the rally around the island more as a community activity. They all belong to the Madeiran Club of Classic Cars. The oldest cars that were on the event were from 1934, which were the Ford V8 Roadster and the Chevrolet Phantom. They are very well restored cars, but of course that doesn't mean they don't need a hand once in a while. This event happened the first time on 1959 and around the island, but only 20 years later, so in 1979, also joined the competitions in Europe, the Europe Rally competition. For 2 years, the Rally Vinho Madeira also entered the international rally competition, which brought a lot more people to compete on our island. That was between 2012 and 2016. Thinking about it, that only after 63 years of rally, this is still a very important event happening in Madeira. You might remember me talking about all these classic cars on a previous video. You can have the information link down below, or you can also go up here to see the link from the exposition they did from some of the cars that did the first going around the island rallies. Due to the social distance rules that exist today, the cars could only stay on this square for 15 minutes. They had times and everything on when to appear here. After that, they needed to leave only to meet the day after in CR7 Square. Hey guys! We are right now in CR7. We are just waiting for the cars to leave. This is the first day of the race, and they are going around the west side of the island until they reach São Vicente. From there they will stop. They will reach that point at about 2:30, and then they will stay there. After the cars started, they needed to go in direction of Ribeira Brava, so they could meet their first challenge, or as they call it, the PEC, from the race.
From Funchal to São Vicente, they had to make 7 PECs, reaching São Vicente at around 2:15 p.m.
I think in about half an hour they will leave this place and the race will start. They only can go to a specific speed. They cannot go any higher than I think maybe 30 kilometers per hour, because this race was always measured by speed. So they always go around with a average speed of 30 kilometers per hour. This race will take 4.5 hours. We are right now in Quelita. The cars will stay here for half an hour, then they will leave and to continue their path. Someone is impatient. Someone is impatient. Serious? Hello, Tana. Hello. In this race, the drivers only know the path on the day of the event. So that means that the track that they are making today, they are only learning from it today.
Since it is basically a 4-hour drive, as customary, a break after 2 hours is mandatory. They made a 30-minute stop in Estreito de Quelita. After their 30-minute break, they would leave, going around the west side of Madeira, driving down to Porto Muniz, meeting their last challenge in Seixal. After that, they would meet up in São Vicente for lunch. But the trip does not end in São Vicente. In fact, they would do another 5 PECs on the afternoon, ending up the race for the day at 7 p.m. It is a fun activity, but no one said it was going to be easy.
Hey guys, so we are going to finish for today. They are still going around the island almost until Porto de Cruz, and then they will come back. But tomorrow they will still do another trip. They start also again in Funchal, then they go to Camacha, Ribeiro Frio, I'm missing some points, and then to Santana, where it will end. Let's see you tomorrow. Bye! Hey guys, and welcome back! Today is the second day that this event is happening. This time we are going on the east side of the island, so that means that we are going from Camacha to Poiso to Ribeiro Frio and then ending up in Santana. Today we are also wearing t-shirts and we are all dressed alike, you can see here. But remember to go here, up here, and also down there to the description down below, where you can find the information from the last video that I talked about the classic cars from Madeira.
The day before, we failed to have more footage from the cars, and we were a little bit bummed out about that. So, on the second day, we've decided to follow the cars. That way, there was no way we would miss the cars, right? The race would start at 10 a.m. and this time it would end at around 1:30 p.m. The meeting point for the participants to receive their prize would be in Quinta do Furão, but more on that later. Thanks to Barbara Bachmeier, I was able to understand how the race works. Apparently, all cars that were participating on the race had 2 GPS systems installed on the cars. They were there to record where the cars were during the different challenges they needed to do during the day, guiding them during the racetrack. This got me wondering about the race itself. So I dug even further for a bit more information. I got in touch with the main person involved in the organization, Tony Martins, to know more about this race. He told me how the race works. So, the whole race from start to finish was made for all the teams to drive with an average speed of 32 kilometers per hour. On the connection tracks between the races, the teams would drive at their desired speed, but on the racetracks, the speed was to be respected. Moreover, they had to leave the CR7 square at a specific time. The first car needed to leave at exactly 10 a.m. from the square. If the car was registered as number 10, it would have to leave at exactly 10 a.m. plus 9 minutes. Not all the races were the same. They had 4 different types of races. A race with visual marks, a hectometric race, a non-stop mark race, and a sector race. The only thing the races had in common is the start and finish sign. On the race with visual marks, let's say that the race has 3 kilometers and that there are 8 visual marks the team has to find during those 3 kilometers. The only thing they know about these visual marks is how far they are from them. The first mark can be, let's say, 500 meters away from starting point. The second one would be 400 meters away from the first one, and so on until the finish mark. And they had to be at the right second when they crossed these visual marks. That is why you've seen them sometimes braking, so they cross the points at the right time. The hectometric race works a bit different. After starting, the car needs to drive at an average speed of 36 kilometers per hour, as accurate as possible. At every 100 meters, a line is found on the street, indicating the co-pilot when to mark the clock with the exact second the team crossed this line. There has to be a good communication between the pilot and co-pilot to achieve a good time result. On the non-stop race, there are visual marks left by the organization for the team to mark the exact second they reach each mark. But there's a catch. The organization gives the team a specific speed for the race, and by each mark, they must do what it takes to reach the mark at the exact second without braking to stop. And the last race, the sector race. This one is a little more difficult to explain, but I'll do my best. Let's say the team has 2 sectors from A to B and C to D with the same length, right? So let's say that sector has a length of 400 meters. They have to calculate the speed they will use and how long they need to do this sector. If they've managed to make the A to B sector in 45 seconds, that means they also have to do the next sector in exactly 45 seconds. No more, no less. And so the race around the island finally ends, here in Quinta do Furão, where the cars still have one last challenge to go through, the sympathy contest, where they have to charm 4 random guests from the hotel. They are going to give the prizes. Let's see who won.
finally I can say that we have finished the race. Tell me which classic car is your favorite one from all cars that, you know, are classic cars or have the definition of classic cars. Remember to smash that like button if you like the video. Of course, don't do it if you don't like it. If you haven't already subscribed yet, please go ahead and do that so you can see the upcoming videos. I'll see you next time. Bye!